Hello everyone and welcome back to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today we are going to do a solo conquest of Star Trek Frontiers. We are going to be using the Return of Khan expansion, so you're going to see those expansion items, but we're going to be doing one of the core scenarios. You may have seen that I recently did a playthrough of Mage Knight, and after doing that, all I could think of is that I'd want to get a Star Trek Frontiers as well out on the channel, because this game is quite similar, but there are some fun different nuances I'd love to show you guys. So there are tons of other great videos out for this game as well, but I feel like I don't have a great introduction for this game that I've seen out there. I mean, JPlay's got a great playthrough, Ricky Royale's got a great playthrough, but they all kind of just jump in. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually do that full setup and then we'll jump into doing the solo conquest. So if you have this game sitting on your shelf, feel free to pull it out. We can set up the game together and then you can do your own playthrough on your own, or you can follow along with me. Let's get started. As you can see here, the player I chose to play with is the USS Enterprise A, Admiral Kirk. He kind of fits my personality, being that he kind of makes split-second decisions and goes with his gut and goes for it. That's totally, I connect with him from a thematic standpoint, so I thought it'd be fun to show him. He also is the one additional captain that you'll get in the expansion. To set up your playing area, you're going to want to grab the card that denotes your ship, the USS Enterprise, all of your shield tokens going from level 9, 10, all the way down to 1 and 2. You'll also have a blank one. Flip that over and that shows that you can control up to one unit at the beginning of the game. So I'll just place that out ready to use. We have a 16 card deed deck. Now with the expansion, we actually will get one additional unique card for each of our captains. So I have Kirk's card himself here, and then we also have a unique card called Creativity. If you're playing with just the base game, you'll only have one unique card for your deed deck, and that will be your captain's card. And you can see his is all about flexibility. Hey, you can discard another card to do all these different things. You'll also want to grab the reference sheets for your skill tokens. So you can see our green ones. And then if you're playing with the expansion also came with additional skill tokens. So I have those as well. And then also for your dummy player. So my dummy player is going to be Picard. So I have his skill ones as well. I also have how you score at the end of the game. Not that that really matters, but sometimes it is nice to see how you scored. After that, we can set up our dummy player. This will be the Picard player. We have his 16 card deed deck and then his ship card. We're going to place 2 data crystals. Here, one that's red and one that's blue. It's based on the bottom of the card here. And shuffle that up and you're ready to go. Next, we have our core sheet. Here, this is what's going to tell us how much movement it costs to move into different locations. Unlike with Mage Knight, where you have a day and a night, there's no day and night in space. It's always the same type of movement, whichever round it is. And that's why in the expansion, they actually provide you with round tokens to help you remember what round you're in, because it was a little bit easier to determine that with Mage Knight. It'll be a little bit more of a challenge here with Star Trek, so that's why you can use the round tokens. You're going to want to grab data dice equal to the amount of actual players, which is 1 plus 2, so we have a total of 3. You want to give them a roll. There's actually only 3 types of basic data symbols. We've got red, yellow, and blue. White is considered wild. And then the new type we have is purple. Purple can be used in plenty of different ways. One of the ways you saw on my card, I can actually power up with a purple data. Think of it more as an improvisation. You can also grab a purple data die and re-roll it and obtain the different type of results. So if I rolled this to a white, then I'd gain that, which is one of any type. But if I had re-rolled a purple, I wouldn't be able to use that data die this round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these up, give them a shake. And just like Mage Knight, you need to have the majority of these dice show basic crystals. If they don't, you'll re-roll the ones that aren't. So I have 2 that are basic crystals and 1 that's wild. That will work. Just like in Mage Knight, there's tons of different locations that are on all the different tiles, and they all have different effects. So you're going to grab all of these cards, and they're super helpful, these reference cards, telling you what happens when you reveal it, what happens when you're adjacent to it, all of that jazz. So make sure to have those handy. We also need to grab our tactics cards. Now, unlike Mage Knight, we had day tactics and night tactics. Since there is no day and night, you just have your generic 6. And I'll show you how these are used in the game. If you've played or seen Mage Knight, this board will be very familiar. This is going to track what's called now, instead of fame, it's called experience. So as you gain experience and each line is a level up, you will gain different level ups over here on the side, and we'll see those as we play. We also have our reputation. We start off right in the center at 0. So whenever we try and recruit units, we're going to look here at what our reputation is and add or subtract that value, depending on how the galaxy sees us. Do they see us as a good guy, essentially, or a bad guy, so to speak? On either side of the board, we have advanced action cards and we have undiscovered cards. Undiscovered cards are very similar to spell cards that you have in Mage Knight, and these are your advanced action cards. You'll want to reveal 1 for every real player plus 2. So since we're playing a solo game, it'll be 3 cards per player. And for the undiscovered cards, you'll want to remove 4 of them: Inner Light, Energy Flow, Telepathy, and Data Virus from there if you're playing solo, because those only work in competitive. I should say also in cooperative you remove them. And we're also going to reveal 3 of these. You can see here we have Cheat Death, Photonic Shockwave, and Con. And then over there we have Advanced Scan, Open, and Negotiations, and Justice for our undiscovered cards. For our units, we have regular and advanced units. You're going to start off with regular units until you reveal the first core tile, which you'll see what those are in a second. So right now we're going to reveal units equal to the number of players. Real players, that's 1, plus 2 again, so 3. So we have Wayun, we have Donatra, and we have Yuhara. And once again, there are some ones in here that are from the expansion, so if you're playing with the base game, you might not have the same ones. Next, you want to grab out all of the 10 different types of enemy tokens. If you're playing with the base game, you only have 9. You won't have the Dominion starships. We're just about ready to start playing. We need to, though, set up our universe. So we need to have 7 what are called frontier tiles. They are the blue tiles, and then 4 core tiles. Core tiles have a red background. 2 of the core tiles have to be non-Borg tiles. So you can see over here, these ones don't have a Borg symbol on them, and these ones do have Borg symbols. And our goal in a solo conquest game is simply to find the 2 Borg tiles that we'll have and defeat both of them. Sounds easy, right? It's kind of like the 2 cities in Mage Knight. So what we want to do is we will randomly grab 2 of these, I'll flip them face down, and 2 of these, shuffle those 4 together. Then we'll randomly grab 7 of these and put them on top of these core city tiles. Here we have our 7 frontier tiles, our 4 core tiles. We'll put these on top. And then to start the game, you're going to start on this one with a wormhole, and you're going to place your ship there. So here we have our Enterprise A. We're then going to reveal 2 of these to start with. The first one I'm going to place on this side, and the second one I'm going to place on this side. So our first tile will look like this. And whenever you place a tile in this game, you don't get to choose the orientation. You have to look to see where the number is, and it's going to match where this asterisk is. And then you're going to want to match the symbols as well. So you can see here I matched the circle with the circle and the star with the star. We'll then grab our second tile, and oh, look at this one. This will be placed like so, and we are now all set up. Let's go ahead and learn a little bit about all these different types of symbols that are on our tiles. On this tile over here, we'll start off with a Class H planet. So when you reveal a Class H planet, you actually won't put anything in that space right now. If you're in a space adjacent to it, you can choose to explore it. And think of it similar to the ancient ruins in Mage Knight. You'll reveal a token. Unlike with Mage Knight, though, where you get to know what that is before you actually go and encounter it, you will reveal a token that looks like this, and you either have to fight it, pay the data tokens for it to gain the XP. You don't really know what you're going to find. I find these to be probably the most challenging in Star Trek because you don't get any foreknowledge of them. Over here, we have a Romulan starbase. What you'll do is you'll grab a Romulan starbase token, drop it there. You'll leave it face down. The moment someone moves adjacent to it, no matter what round, because there's no day and night, you'll simply be able to flip that over and see what it is. This, think of it as very similar to keeps, where if you defeat the enemy that's there, first of all, you could potentially recruit a unit. Second of all, your hand size, as long as you're on it or adjacent to it, you'll gain +1 to your hand size. What we see here is just a star, the sun. It costs us 4 movement to move through it, and we cannot end our movement there. If we do, we take a damage and have to move back. Over here, we have a nebula. That just costs us 3 movement to move through, and we can end our movement there, no problem. Finally, we have a Class L planet. A Class L planet, you'll leave blank initially. If you're adjacent to it, you can send an away team down. You have to determine which units you're going to send, and then you will flip that token. You can either use diplomacy to try and talk with them and essentially gain a treaty. Otherwise, you're going to have to attack them, and they're going to attack you. On this tile, we do have a Class L planet, and then we have 2 Dominion warships. So this is from the expansion. Whenever you reveal a Dominion warship symbol, you're going to grab a warship token and immediately reveal it and place it here. Ooh, that's going to be a fun one. And we'll place this one over here. They have the same rampaging effect where if I move from one adjacent location to another, they will immediately stop us and attack us. So they have that, which is similar to the orcs. But when you defeat them, you gain 1 random data crystal as your reward as well. And if you roll a black, you actually get to gain 1 XP, 1 additional XP. And they're worth a little more XP as well. But they're also a little bit more of a challenge. Like this guy's going to attack us twice for 3. That guy's attacking us for 5. And I need to remember what that means. I think that means he has phasers. Sorry, it's called energy dissipators. So if you receive 1 or more damage cards from this, you have to discard all of your non-damage cards. Think of it similar to Paralyze in Mage Knight. So yeah, we'd have to block or do a long-range attack on him. Finally, we have a Dominion Starbase. You'll want to grab a token for that. Similar to the Romulan Starbase, when you get adjacent, you can flip him up, and you can attack and defeat that enemy. If you defeat that enemy, you'll move into that space, and you will gain 1 undiscovered card, similar to a Wizard's Tower. It looks like to me we have lots of opportunities here. It's going to be the question of, do we want to go this way, or do we want to go this way, or do we want to maybe first take out that Romulan starbase, then try and come over here and clean this area out? I also don't want to take too long, because remember, we need to also progress forward, but there's just lots of goodies over here. Let's go ahead and draw our hand up. We can see here our hand size is 5, so we're going to draw 5 out of our 16 cards. Ooh, creativity right off the bat. Some research, battle stations, repair hull, and engage. We then get to choose one of these 6 tactics cards, which we will use for this first round. And looking at my hand, I think the first thing I want to do, and you see a lot of people do this, we're going to grab Fortune. When you take this tactic, immediately draw 2 cards. I'm looking for a slightly better starting hand. Oh, we've got our Kirk. Too bad there isn't any purple in the data core. And we have Intimidate. And then what we're going to do is simply shuffle these cards up like so. And the dummy player, Picard, will take number 2. Because he's at number 2 and we're at number 5, he gets to go first. All the dummy player will do is discard the top 3 cards of his deck. All he is a timer. He ended with the top card being blue. He has 1 blue crystal on his card, so that means we'll discard 1 additional card. If his deck is empty when he needs to draw, he'll claim end of round and we'll have 1 more turn. So he literally is just a timer. If you watched my Mage Knight playthrough, you know just how powerful owning those keeps or Romulan starbases are, so I think I'm going to head that way first. Now, I have only 1 move card. When I did the draw 2, I was really hoping that I was going to get another move card, but I do have Kirk that allows us to move. And the reason I'm thinking of using Kirk is this engage has a long range attack of 3. So unlike in Mage Knight, there's no fortifications here. So I can use long range attack against that Romulan starbase if it only has 3 total defense. But I also have research. And I can power up research with the blue data token that I have, and that will make this a long-range attack of 5. If you look here, it gives +2 instead of a 3. So because of that, I'm thinking we're going to use Kirk, which we have to discard another card from our hand. Who needs to do any healing right now, or repairing? And I should mention that that is different. There's repairing and healing in this game. Repair is for your ship, healing is for your units, or if your captain gets wounded. And you'll see how that works as we play. So I'm going to play Kirk, discarding this card to gain move 4. The cost for movement of any of these black spaces is 2. Nice and simple. Any of the spaces that have a planet on it, they're a movement of 3, and we can't end our movement there. Any of the stars, it's 4 movement. And that's it. Then you've got these locations where you can't move into, and you might see there'll be black holes that we can't move into as well. So what I'm going to do with that 4 movement, I'm just going to move here for 2. And because I'm now adjacent to this Romulan starbase, I can reveal the token. Let's see what we find. We have, oh, beautiful. Look at that. 4 defense. It's exactly what I wanted to see. This enemy also has what we call disruptors. You can see that symbol right there. What that means is all shields are halved when blocking enemies with this ability. So for my action now, I'm going to attack this enemy. And I don't have to move into the Romulan starbase like you have to in Mage Knight. Mage Knight, you actually have to move in and assault. Here you just can be adjacent and you decide to use your action to assault that Romulan starbase. The first thing that will happen is that is considered an act of war. Kirk is doing an act of war against these individuals, so we're going to go down 1 on our reputation. This still means we're overall at 0, which is nice, but if we go down any more, we're going to start having negatives when we try and influence people. In combat, there's a total of 4 stages. The first stage is long-range attack. We're going to start there. If you cannot have enough long-range attack to be able to defeat whatever enemy you're fighting, then that enemy is going to attack you back, and you have a chance to block with shields. After that, and what's different with Mage Knight with shields is you can partial shield in this game. Normally with Mage Knight, you can only do fully block or not block at all. You can partial block in this game. After that, then you're going to resolve the damage, determine how much damage you're going to take, and then finally, you can do regular attacks. And regular attacks can even include long-range attacks and regular attacks, any amount or types of attacks that you want. But for this attack, since we're doing a long range, it has to all be long-range attack. This means we'll go ahead and play the research card, and we'll use this blue data token to power it up, and it states when you play this, play another action card with it, gain the stronger effect of that card for free. If that effect gains move, diplomacy, shields, or any type of attack, gain that effect +2. So we'll go ahead and do a long-range attack of a total of 5. That 5 is greater than the 4 defense of this enemy. That means we just defeated this enemy, we'll gain 3 experience, and now we're automatically going to move ourselves onto that Romulan starbase. We'll also place one of our ship tokens here to denote that we have conquered this location. 3 experience is pretty much perfect. We're going to level up, so at the end of this turn, we'll be able to gain 1 advanced action card and gain 1 skill. During your turn, you can do a move and an action, or just a move or just an action. But you can't do an action and then a move, or like what we just did, a move, an action, and then another move. Once you do that action, your turn's complete. So what we'll do is we'll take this blue data die, we'll give it a reroll, and it's now black. Nice, black. We have black data, and we will discard these 2 cards. Let's go ahead and level up. Oh, and I shouldn't say those 2. It's also these ones that we played, so the 4 cards that we played this round. Now let's go ahead and level up. Here we have our skill tokens. We'll reveal 2 of them, and we get to choose 1 to keep. Over here we have Taunt, which says once per turn during the shields phase, you can increase the enemy's attack by 2 and reduce its shields by 2 to a minimum of 1. This has no effect if the enemy cannot attack. That's interesting. Bring it on! This one over here is called Aggressive Tactics. Once per turn, add +3 to a card that provides any type of attack during the attack phase. And yet to me, that sounds better. I don't want to increase attack to decrease defense. I just prefer to just hit them with better attack. So let's go ahead and keep this one. And that's a once per turn, which is great. Then what we're going to do, we have Picard's skill tokens here. We're going to reveal the top one. This one's called Kindred Spirits. We can once per round flip this to reduce the diplomacy cost of 1 crew member in the offer by 5. Holy moly, that's actually kind of cool. So we can, in a future round, potentially choose this skill instead of the 2 that we reveal from our skill token set. But if we do that, we always have to claim the bottom action card in the action offers. We have a total of 3 advanced action cards we can choose from. This card will go on top of our deck, which is pretty cool because we'll be able to use it this round. We've got Khan, and to me, Khan just seems like a great card to have come into play later in the game. Right now it's going to be okay, but when we go against the Borg, I just don't see how it's going to be bad, because on the top, it'll just give us an attack 3, but we can gain +1 attack for every 2 enemy tokens participating in this combat, or it can be attack 5, gain +1 for every 2 enemy tokens participating in this combat. So this could be like a 7 or an 8 attack card when we get to the Borg. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that. I'm going to place that on top of my deck. These cards then slide down, and we're going to reveal more time. Oh, this one looks cool too. We have 3 cards in hand. We'll draw up to 5. First, we know we have Khan, and we have Explore, finally a move. But remember, we're at the Romulan starbase, and we're either there or adjacent to it. Our hand size is +1, so we get to draw 6. We have Battle Stations for our 6th card. Now let's go over to the dummy player. He'll discard 3 more cards. 1, 2, and if I can pick up the third one, 3. It's gold. There's no gold here, so that's all he'll do. We're currently at a Romulan starbase. What I'd love to do is to be able to explore. First of all, in this game, you also will gain 1 experience for exploring, but we can't because the board has to be a wedge shape, and I'll show you that in a second. But what that means is we actually need to move more to the center of the universe to be able to explore. Blasted universe limits. So what I think I'm going to do this round is I'm just going to do an interaction. This is going to be our action for the turn, but what we're going to do is we're going to recruit a unit. We're going to use our Intimidate, and we're going to power it up with the red data that's in the source there, and we're going to get Diplomacy 5. At the end of your turn, though, Reputation -1. They're not going to like this. Our Reputation bonus right now is 0, so we're at 5, and I think, as much as I don't want to do it, I'm going to use Creativity sideways, because you can always play 1 card sideways for either 1 move, 1 regular attack, 1 regular block, or 1 regular diplomacy. You can't use cards sideways for additional long-range attack, just so you know. So we have a total of 6 diplomacy. We're going to have to push our reputation down by 1, but that means we can buy the 1 unit that we can buy at a Romulan starbase, and that's Dinatra. She will give us either the ability for attack or shields 3, or a long-range attack 2. So I'm going to put her underneath my command token here, and when I use her, I'll simply exhaust her like this, and we can use her once per round. That'll end my turn for this round, so I'll go ahead and discard these 2. I believe I'll have 4 cards in hand. Yep, so I get to draw 2 more because I'm still at my starbase. 5 and 6, and we'll re-roll this die. We have another black. Oh boy, 2 black and a white. At least the white is wild, so it can be used for any type of the 3 basic crystals. All right, Picard, how much are you going to push me? 1, 2, and 3. It's blue, so 1 more. We still have a fair amount of time. For this turn, I think I'm going to try and get myself over by that Dominion starbase if I can. So what I think I'm going to do... Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do the Explorer here. I'm going to use the white that we have here, and I'm going to use it as a blue, so we got to move 4. We need a total movement of 5, so I'm going to have to put one of these sideways. I really like the synthesized data, though, because it can give me a different tokens. So I think I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to instead just use this card sideways as a move 5. We'll use those 5 movement points for 3 plus 2. And now I wanted to show you, so we have the wedge shape. What that means is we can have 3 tiles up here on top, but no more to the side over here. Because think of these asteroids simply going out this way to block this area. So we have to continue exploring straight forward. We're now next to this Dominion starbase. Let's go ahead and reveal this token. Ooh, this token is worth 5 experience. It attacks us with 6 for photon torpedo attacks. What that means is regular shields are inefficient against them. I need 12 regular shields to block that attack in total. Remember, though, I can partially block in this game. We also have, he's resistant to photon torpedoes. So if I used a photon torpedo attack, it would do half the amount of damage. What's interesting about this Dominion starbase, since I can actually assault it from an adjacent location, even though these are rampaging enemies, if let's say I do defeat them, I'll automatically move to here. I do not cause them to attack me, which is great. But then if once I start moving out of here, then they could. Before we decide anything else, I need to remember that I did intimidate Dinatra to be on our team. I said, you know what? You be on our team or else. I should have pushed down my reputation by 1, so now we're at a -1. I have a plan, you guys, but I think I'm going to need to end my turn first. So let's see what we get. We get red. That might actually work even more to our advantage. Let's go ahead and discard these 2 cards. I have a total of 4 cards in hand. I only get to draw 1. I'm not next to my Romulan starbase anymore, and we have Engage. Picard isn't pushing us too hard, so I felt like we could do this. I've got 3 cards. We've got a red. Yeah, so we've got, what, a couple more rounds? We can do this. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. What we're going to do is we're going to assault this Dominion starbase. This Dominion starship normally wouldn't be included in that combat, but we can include any enemies that are adjacent to us if we would like. So since this enemy is adjacent, we are also going to include it because I want to A, take him out, and B, I want 9 XP. But that means we have to encounter both of these tokens. And since we're assaulting a starbase, that is another act of war, so we're going to go down by 1 more on our reputation. It seems that Kirk needs to stop talking so much or something. People aren't liking him so much around here. You can see here up top on this Dominion starship, it has a +3. What that means, you see that little small +3? That means that they're elusive. So during the long-ranged combat section of combat, their defense is actually 6. They're hard to hit during long range. They have to get up close and personal for us to be able to attack them. Now, unlike Swiftness with Mage Knight, if we don't block these two attacks, his defense during the non-long range will just be 3. It won't be 6. So that's a good thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this. Now, what we're going to do, though, during the long range is we're going to go ahead and use Dinatra. So she's going to give us long range of 2. We're then going to use that engage card for long range of 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, and we can use that on this this token because they are resistant to photon attacks, not to your normal phasers. 5 damage will take him out, no problem. We don't have any more long-range attack, so we'll now move to where this enemy is attacking us. It's going to attack us for 2 different attacks for 3 damage each. What I'm going to do for that first attack, I'm going to go ahead and use my battle stations for shield 2, and then play this card sideways for shields 3. That's going to block that first attack, no problem. Second attack comes in. We'll go ahead and use our battle stations again for shields 2, but I have nothing to do for shields 3, so that means we'll take 1 point of damage. Now, if we look at our token here, our armor is 2. You're thinking, well, he's only hitting for 1. Can't that totally block the damage? No. How damage works, it's exactly like it is in Mage Knight. You start off with taking 1 damage no matter what, as long as you're not blocking or shielding all the attacks that are coming in. So this point of damage will go into my hand. Then we'll reduce the remaining amount of his attack by our defense, which is 2. So he attacked us for 1. We took a wound. We reduce it now by 2. It is now below 0, so we'll take no more wounds. Now, his defense is only 3, so we can use our last card, Con, that we just got. It has an attack value of 3. Technically, it'd actually be an attack value of 4 because we had 2 enemies that were participating in this combat. 3 is all we need to take him out. So that was pretty gosh darn awesome. We'll go ahead and place a token here, move into the starbase. We now control it. Because we just defeated that starbase, we get to gain 1 undiscovered card, so we get to look at the 3. And then we also defeated that Dominion starship. So when you defeat one of those, discard the token and gain 1 random crystal as your reward. And we'll roll a data die for that. Let's see what we get. We got a gold, so that means we'll get a gold data crystal, and this will go into our inventory. We can have a total of 3 of each of the basic types of crystals. 3 yellow, 3 blue, and 3 red. We have 3 cards here, the Advanced Scan, the Open Negotiations, or Justice. I feel like I kind of like the idea of getting a little more diplomacy. This gives us Diplomacy 3 during an interaction, which is when we're trying to recruit one of our units. Or if we're on an away mission, it's Diplomacy 5. So I will take that. We'll then push this down and reveal our next one, and we have Warp Manipulation. For 1 damage, we gained 5 XP for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will help us level up. And 4 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're actually really close to getting ourselves all the way to level 4 already. I'm going to re-roll that data die, and it rolls way off the screen there. It's gold. This is one of the more boring level ups. We'll simply just gain another command token, and our shield value goes from 2 to 3, but our hand size is still 5. We only have 1 card in hand, which is a damage, so we'll draw 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here's all of our move cards, and now we'll go back over to Picard. Picard will simply play his last card out. Next round, he'll claim end of round. That means we have this round, or this turn, and next turn, so 2 more turns. I'm in a great place to be able to do some diplomacy usage, either recruiting another unit, or maybe even doing an away mission, but I have no red data. So I think instead I'm going to use my gold one here to get 4 movement. And then I think I'm going to use this one to add 2 more for a total of 6 movement. With our 6 movement, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the reason I'm doing that, first of all, I think, I'm actually not sure about this, but coming from here to move to here costs us 3 movement. We can't end here, and it would cause this Dominion starbase to attack us, or starship. I don't really want to deal with him. He would help me level up though. but I'm going to take my chances here because I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. I'm going to try and explore here, and that's going to gain me 1 XP. That means I'm 1 XP from leveling up, you guys. Okay, so this one, once again, we don't get to decide how it's set up. It's set up based on how all the other tiles are set up. So you can see I've made a circle. The 14 is matching the same way as the 11 and 13 are here, or 10 and 13. And now we've got some new things to look at. We have another Romulan star base, as well as 2 more Dominion starships. So I'll place one here and one here. You know, I'm not seeing a lot of the rampaging enemies that can increase our reputation. We really need that. We have a regular star here, and we have a Class K planet. A Class K planet, we can do an away mission there if we want. I don't think I want to this time, but depending upon what that last card is, we'll see if we want to. We do also gain 1 more experience. We're only 2 away from leveling up. Let's go ahead and just end our turn. We will reroll the data die. Oh, it's white. That could not come at a better time. I actually have an idea then, because I have a lot of diplomacy then, and we only have 1 card left. It's another move card, of course. Our dummy player has no cards left in his deck, so he'll claim end of round. We have 1 turn left. For our turn this time, let's go ahead and beam ourselves down to this Class K planet. The first step of an away mission is to determine if you want to send your captain or any of your ready crew members with you. I don't have any ready crew members, and the only reason I'd want to send my captain would be if I want to use our skills. The only skill I have is adding +3 attack. I'm hoping to do this diplomatically, so we don't need to send our captain for that. The other reason would be if I had the captain's card in my hand, I couldn't use it. I don't have the captain's card in my hand right now, so it really makes no sense to send just the captain down. So I'm going to send just a security force. Now, if I cannot defeat this enemy, I'm going to get -2 reputation. I'm already at -1. So this is a bit risky, but the payout will be I can level up. And I've got a total of at least 7, potentially 8 diplomacy. So yeah, let's see what we get. Oh yes, we got an 8 diplomacy enemy. So if you look at this token, down here we have our experience, which is 4. Over here we have the regular attack amount. Up here we have their total defense. And over here we have how much diplomacy we need in order to defeat this enemy, or come to terms with them, so to speak. The away missions, similar to combat, have a total of 4 phases. We have the diplomacy phase, the long-range attack phase, the assigned damage phase, and the attack phase. So we can first see if we can use diplomacy to try and convince this person, hey, we're friends, we're here to help. Let's have some XP. And that's what we're going to do. If, let's say, we couldn't do that, then we could use any of our long-range attack that we had in our hand. As long as we weren't using that Kirk card or any of our skills, since we didn't send down the captain, we could try and defeat 6 total damage. Otherwise, then, he would deal 3 damage that's unblockable to all of our units that went to the away mission. Now, since I didn't send any units to the away mission, this would simply mean we automatically failed and we'd put our reputation down by 2. If instead, let's say we had brought Dinatra here, what would happen is he would deal 1 wound to Dinatra, and then we'd reduce his attack by her defense value. So that would put it all the way down to -1. Then what we could do is, as long as we had not had leftover damage that we couldn't apply to either our captain or to our units, we could then use regular attack to try and defeat that 6. But for us, we're just going to do this very diplomatically, even though we don't have great reputation. And that is something else to note. Reputation does not matter during an away team mission. So even though my reputation's at -1, I'm still at 0 when doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and use this white, that's wild, as a red. It's going to give me diplomacy 5 during an away mission. I'm then going to use my open healing frequencies for 7 total diplomacy, and then use full speed ahead as 8. 8 diplomacy means we just defeated this encounter, and we are going to level up with 4 XP. We'll mark that Class K planet with one of our tokens, and the other benefit is we get to obtain another undiscovered card. That's kind of what I was hoping for. 4 XP, 1, 2, 3, 4 is also another level up. Gosh, lots of stuff happening in this first round. From our undiscovered cards here, I love this advanced scan. We can, if we do the superior scan, which we need to spend both a gold and a black, play this only during the attack phase, destroy the target enemy token. So we'll go ahead and grab that one. We'll push this down. The warp manipulation looks cool too, and we have restoration. That was our action for the turn. Let's go ahead and level up. So we'll grab 2 of these skill tokens, plus the 1 from Picard that we could potentially obtain. This one is called Resourcefulness, so we could once per round flip this to choose 1 data color other than white and gain 1 data token of that color. Over here though, we have More Power. Once per round, we can flip this to gain Move 4 or Attack 4. Yeah, I mean this helps us with recruiting, which we kind of need because our reputation stinks. But I'm hoping we can find some enemies that will help us with our reputation. This one just seems too good. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. We'll then reveal another Picard one, and let's see, what does this one do? This one's called Compassion. Once per round, you can flip this to ready or heal 1 crew member. It cannot be used during combat. I also get to claim an advanced action card, and I'm definitely going to grab this more time. This lets us draw 3 cards and then shuffle 3 cards in our hand back into our ship deck. Or, if you look at the bottom here, each card that you play sideways this turn gives you +2 instead of +1, and at the end of your turn, shuffle your sideways cards back into your deck. Oh, and I've been calling it a deeds deck. It's called your ship deck because it's technically a ship. Sorry about that. Okay, so we now will also have that card in our deck. Now let's go ahead and refresh for the round. We take the bottommost undiscovered card, put it at the bottom of the undiscovered deck, and that's going to tell us what color data token we're going to put into the pool of Picard, our dummy players area. So now if ever he discards a red card as his 3rd card, he'll discard 2 more cards. We're also going to place this blue card into his deck, so that's nice. At least it's not red. And then we'll replenish both of these like so. We have not found a core tile yet, so then with our units, we're going to refresh the 2 that we have here, put them at the bottom of the deck, and we'll reveal 3 new ones. We have Mirak, we have Kern, and we have the medical officer. We'll then move ourselves to round 2. We will grab our data dice, give them a roll, and okay, we've got all of them are wild, so we're just going to pick them all up, or purple, so we'll re-roll them. Okay, great. 1 that's wild and 2 that are basic colors. We can keep that. You can see here I've reshuffled up Picard's deck. We can ready Dinatra, so we can use her again for the next round. Let's draw up to our hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we get to choose one of the 4 remaining tactics cards. So the 2 that we used last round, we will not have in this pool. After we pick 2 from these, then we'll take those 2 that we used the last round and put them in the pool. So you're always going to have 4 to choose from, except for that first round, you'll have 6. So I really like planning, because at the end of each of your turns, if you have at least 2 non-damage cards, you can see how this is a little different from Mage Knight. You get to have a hand size of 1 more. This one you can just take another turn, and this one you can take 1 data die. Yeah, I think I'm going to do planning this round for us. So at the end of each of our turns, as long as we have 2 or more cards in our hand, we can draw an additional card. And Picard will take number 3. Bummer, that means he's going to go first. Let's grab our 3 cards for Picard. 1, 2, don't be red. That's red. So that means 2 more cards. He's already 5 cards down. All right, now it's back to us. So it seems like to me, Picard is trying to push us to keep moving forward. But there's this Class L planet right here. And I've got my Kirk card in hand. I've got my Open Negotiations card in my hand. I think we can spend 1 turn sending an away team there. What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, those ones generally are a little bit easier than the Class K. And I think, I mean, with my Kirk card, I have up to 10 diplomacy. So let's go ahead and do it. We're not going to send Dinatra. We'll keep her up in the ship, but we are going to send our captain, so I can use my Kirk card, and I can use my skills, which the skills aren't going to be that helpful. But I'm going to place this token here to denote I am sending Kirk down there. Let's go ahead and grab our tokens, and we'll reveal the top one. Oh, 10 diplomacy? Yep, looking here, 10 diplomacy, but 6 XP. I will totally take that. I think we can do it. What do you guys say we start off with some open negotiations? We're going to talk to them. We're going to tell them, hey, we're here in peace. We'd like to talk to you. We're on an away mission, so that's worth 5 diplomacy. Then let's go ahead and use our Kirk card. Discard another card from your hand to gain diplomacy 4 is what I'm looking at. I'm going to use the advanced scan to discard. So that's going to give us a total of 9 diplomacy. We need 1 more. Oh, you know what? I'm going to burn the move. I'm going to burn the move because I have my move skill. So I'm going to burn this sideways for our total of 10 diplomacy. we just gained ourselves 6 XP. And when we take over the Class L planet, we gain 2 random data crystals. What you do is you roll 2 data dice and see what you get. So I'll roll these up. Wow, I'm just going to get a lot of gold apparently. I have 1 already. That will give me 3. Then, just because we're here, I'm going to re-roll this die right now because it's definitely going to end our turn. Oh, we've got a purple now that's over in the source. We'll place another ship token here, and let's gain our 6 XP. We'll move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 away from leveling up. That's okay, we just need to explore another tile and we'll level up. Now, I do have my planning, but unfortunately, I only have 1 card in hand, so I'm only going to be able to draw up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, we got at least 1 movement. That's good. How much is Bricard going to push us? 1, 2. Oh, good. That's red. Hopefully this isn't red. It's blue. So 1 additional. Moving back to our turn, I think we're going to go ahead and use our skill, giving us +4 movement. So we can move 1, 2, and then we're going to explore here for the other 2. We'll grab the tile, the top one here, and we're going to place that out. First thing that we can see here, we have a dry dock here. This dry dock is very similar to the magical glades. So if we end our turn here, we can throw away a damage either in our hand or a discard pile. Over here, this is a research station. If we end our turn in that space, we can get 1 blue data crystal. Remember, crystals we get to keep round to round. Data tokens we only keep for that specific turn, and then we have to discard it. We have a Romulan warbird over here. This is just like the orcs. If we can take this guy out, we can actually push up our reputation by 1. He's physically resistant. 3 for his armor or defense, and 5 for his attack. Holy moly. And then they're the same. They're also rampaging, so if we move from one location to another location, they will attack us. And then finally, we have an M planet. An M planet is very similar to the monasteries in Mage Knight. So the first thing that we can do is draw 1 advanced action card, and we're going to put it in the unit offer. When we're there, we can spend diplomacy to actually gain that. You can also spend 2 diplomacy there to heal per amount of diplomacy, and that's heal or repair. You can do either one. And you can also decimate it, which we really don't want to do with where our reputation is, because it gives us -3 reputation. We would then potentially, as long as we defeat a purple enemy, which is one of those Dominion star bases, we'd also claim an undiscovered card, but that just seems silly at this point. I think then the next card we're going to play is just our Explore card here, and we're just going to move 2 more spaces into this spot, and I think we're going to try and take this guy out. Before I do that, I need to gain my 1 XP for exploring, and you can see we're going to level up. We're up to, 1, 2, 3, 4, level 5. I'm not entirely sure if this is worth it, but it's going to be fun. We're going to use our More Time card. Each card that you play sideways this turn gives you +2 instead of +1. At the end of your turn, you're going to shuffle all those +2 cards back into your ship deck, which is awesome. So this enemy is attacking us for 5. We're going to play this card sideways for 2 shields. That means he's still attacking us for 3. We will then look at our armor. We have 3 for our armor, so that means we'll take 1 damage token, or a damage card, put that into our hand, and then we'll reduce that amount by 3 to 0, so that's all the damage we're going to take. Then we're going to try and attack him. We need a total of 6 physical damage, since he is physically resistant. After we've taken that damage, let's go ahead and play our Battle Stations card, doing 2 attack, using our skill for a total of 5 attack, and then play this card sideways for +2. That will give us 7 total attack. That will be enough for his 3 times 2 because he's physically resistant of 6. And what's great, since I play both of these sideways, I can shuffle both of these back into my ship deck, which is great. And we'll gain 4 XP and put our reputation up by 1. People are going to like us a little more. Our experience will go from 24 to 28, and our reputation will go up by 1. And don't forget, at the end of our turn now, we'll get to level up. We'll take our token here, flip it over. Our hand size is now 6. Great. So we have shuffled up our cards because we put those 2 back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the damage that we took makes 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. All right, Picard, what are you going to do to us this time? 1, 2, and 3. It's yellow, yellow. No problem. I almost forgot we need to re-roll that data die, and we got another white. Awesome. I think with that white, looking at what we have here, let's go ahead and do our full speed ahead. Let's power that up with the wild white so we get 4 movement. We want to see what else is out there. So we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to go ahead and explore over here. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah, this looks great. Let's see, perfect. That's the way to set it up. Another warbird. And now we have a new place, an outpost. That's kind of like a village. You can recruit units there. You can also heal there. You have to spend a little more than you do at the M planet. And you can also subjugate it for -1 reputation to draw 2 cards. We also have a black hole. That location you just can't go through at all unless you have an ability. Okay, we have a nice basic Romulan warbird. This one will keep face down. I'm realizing, you guys, I should have gained a blue data crystal because I ended in that research station, so I'm going to put that into my supply. I have 3 gold and 1 blue now. Unfortunately, this Dominion starship is really in the way. I really want to move this way, but if I do that, he's going to attack us. So I think I am, for my action, going to attack him first. Unfortunately, this enemy has the Energy Dissipator ability. That states that if a ship receives 1 or more damage cards from this attack, you have to discard all non-damage cards from your hand. So basically, you wouldn't be able to defeat him unless you had units that could defeat him. So I really need to block his attack. So I'm going to use Denatra for a Shields 3, and then I'm going to play both of these 2 cards sideways for a total block of 5. So we've blocked his 5 attack. His defense during the long range was 7, but I didn't have enough long range attack to deal with him. Now we're in the attack phase. I need a total of 5 attack. Well, 2 from battle stations, and the 3 attack here that gives me +3 during the attack phase, that's 5. That is enough to take him out. Because I defeated him, I gain 1 basic mana crystal. Oh, if it's white, I get to choose? Yep, I definitely get to choose. I'm going to choose red for this time. So I've got a red, a blue, and 3 yellow. I also gain 5 experience points. I'll then re-roll my data die that I used, and I have a gold because I need more gold. And then once again, I'm not using planning effectively because I only have 1 card of non-damage in my hand. So I just get to draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5 experience, though. I will totally take that. We are only 2 away from leveling up. Picard will continue to push us, though. We're going to draw 3 of his cards. It's gold. That's awesome. So he's not pushing us as much as I was worried about. Looking at my hand, I have no movement, but I'm right next to that Class M planet, and I could do some recruiting. I've got 2 command units that are available to us. So what I think I'm going to do is get a little creative. We're going to power this up with our blue data die. It says, take 2 dice from the core and set them to any colors except white. Gain 1 data token for each of these colors. Do not roll these dice when you place them back in here. So I'm going to go ahead and make both of these red. So I'm going to gain 2 red data tokens. So these are only good for this round, but that's just what I need. And then these 2 are going to go back into the source the way that they are. At the end of the round, I'm going to have to re-roll this one. With those 2 red, I'm going to go ahead and do another Intimidate, because why not push our reputation down a little bit more? That's going to give us 5 Diplomacy. I am then going to use our Open Healing Frequency for 4, so that's going to give us a total of 9 frequency. Then I'm going to put both of these sideways to do +2 more for our Diplomacy. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 total Diplomacy, -1 because our reputation's at -1 right now, so we have a total of 10. And what we can do, you can get as many units as you possibly can for that total amount. So we have 10, we have 3 to get the medical officer, and we have 7 to get Marak. And you can see we can recruit both of those at that Class M planet that's adjacent to us. That's awesome. But now we're going to have to push down our reputation, and I still just have 1 damage card, so that planning card is useless. Let's give that blue mana die that we used a roll. Okay, now it's purple. Let's then go ahead and draw up to our hand size of 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ooh, 2 damage. Gross. We're pushing ourselves back down to the lower -1 on the reputation track. Picard only has 2 cards left in his deck, so he will flip those 2. Next round, he'll claim end of round, so we've got 2 turns. I think the first thing we're going to do is spend this 1 data crystal that we have that's blue. We're going to use our medical officer here to repair for 2 damage. We're going to get rid of the 2 damage that's in our hand. I don't really want those in my ship deck anyways, and they're there, so let's get rid of them. This will exhaust our medical officer. Then, looking at our hand, we really only have move 2 from our engage card, and I want to use this for range attack. So instead, I'm going to simply use these 2 cards sideways for a move 2. We're going to simply move 2 right to here. That means we can reveal this enemy. Ooh, also phaser resistant. Ooh, and he has disruptors. However, that's not going to matter right now. Let's go ahead and use our engage. We're going to use a red from the source to get long range attack of 3. This warbird will not see what's coming. It's going to push up our reputation too. And it's going to gain us 2 XP, just what we need to level up. 2 more XP is pretty much perfect, pushing this back up to the upper -1. Let's go ahead and quick re-roll that die, and we have a purple. Oh, we got 2 purple and a red in there. Then we can level up, so we can choose any of these 4 skills. This one is called Insight. Once per round, we can flip this to gain 1 red data crystal and then 1 blue token. This one here is called Personal Combat. Attack 2 or attack 4 during an away mission. You know, I'm a sucker for being able to get crystals. I think I'm going to go with this one for this time. We then will reveal the next Picard one. Oh, what does this one do? This one's called Leadership. Once per turn, when activating a crew member, add +3 to its shield, +2 to its attack, or +1 to its long range. That is kind of cool. Yeah, he's all about his units. We also get to claim 1 card from the card offer. Look at, they're all red. I think I'm going to grab Swift Action because it can allow us to gain 1 red crystal to our inventory and give us long range attack if we boost it. So let's replace that with the Isolistic Burst. We'll go ahead and end our turn then. We'll simply draw our new card. Picard's then going to claim end of round. I definitely think we're going to use this. We might as well. So we're going to get 1 red crystal to our inventory. That's 2 red and 3 gold, by the way. That's awesome. And we have a blue mana token. So we might as well use that on our synthesized data. We can gain 1 red, blue, or gold crystal to our inventory. We don't have any blue, so let's go ahead and gain a blue to our inventory. And then we'll just use this card to gain 1 red data crystal to our inventory. Great. We'll put that here. We are loaded. We are loaded in tokens. And that's, I should say, crystals. That's what I want to see. Other than that, I mean, I didn't use Murdoch, but I don't think there's anything else I can do about it. Let's move to refresh to start our round 3. This is going to go into Picard's deck. He's going to get a gold mana token on his card as well. We'll push both of these down and replenish them. And then we have, only 1 unit in the offer, and we have that 1 advanced action card. We'll put that at the bottom of the deck. We still have not found a core tile. I have not explored very quickly in this game. We're going to have to get a move on, so to speak. Here's our 3 new. Oh, we have Tomalak, another medical officer, and Chekhov. And then we also get 1 advanced action card due to that class M planet that's on the board. We'll move ourselves to round 3. And let's grab our 3 dice, give them a good shake, drop them off. We got 2 blue and a purple. That'll work. Our 2 units that we used will refresh, along with our 2 skills that we used that are once per round. We're at level 6, so our hand size is 6. Oh, I love that more time card. Power for shields. We've got open negotiations. We've got Kirk. Oh, we've got a purple in there. That's awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We need some movement and a diplomacy. Total of 6. I don't know why we wouldn't take fortune. Let's just take fortune so we can draw 2 additional cards. Let's see what Picard takes. Picard, come on. Take 6, huh? No, he's going to take 1. So he's going to go first. But before that, let's draw 2 more cards. Oh, we got another move. And we've got a swift action. Let's draw his top 3. 1, 2, and this is his 3rd one. It's gold, so he'll flip 1 more. We're good to go. With this large of a hand, I have so many options, it's kind of ridiculous. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my more time card, and I'm going to power it up with one of my gold tokens here so that I can do each card that you play sideways. This turn gives you +2 instead of +1, and we get to shuffle them back into our deck. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play our 2 move cards sideways. That's going to give us a total movement of 4. I have that Dominion Starbase right here, and I totally could take him out. It's just I'm a little bit worried about timing. I've never been this far behind, so what I think I'm going to do is use 2 movement to move there. The other 2, we're going to explore our next tile. Oh yeah, we have more Dominion starships. We'll place 1 over here. This is a 10, holy moly. he is physically resistant, and I believe you can use movement to block him. And then this one has, phasers and photon torpedoes, and is worth 5 XP right in our way if we wanted to try and move. We do, though, also have another Class M planet, so we can grab another advanced action card and put it in the unit offer. Sweet, we have superior in navigation. We haven't used a data die from the data core. I think I am going to use the purple one for our Kirk card. That does mean we're going to have to discard something, so I'm going to discard my power to shields, and we're going to obtain Diplomacy 6. We can do this because we are adjacent to that Class M planet. I need a total of 7 to be able to obtain one of those advanced action cards, but the nice thing is if I put a card sideways, I'm just going to get it back in my deck. So that will give me 6 plus 2 is 8. With that 8, I think now it's a question of I could either get agility or this superior navigation. Which one do I want? Really, if we look at these, they're both good, but the nice thing about this one is it's blue, and we've got 2 blue data on the data core, so let's go ahead and grab the blue one for the 6. That was my action this turn. I played 3 cards sideways, so I'm going to grab all 3 of those and shuffle them into my deck. I will discard these 2, and let's go ahead and re-roll this data die. We have another purple, nice, and let's draw up. I do need to remember to gain my XP for exploring, so I'll do that in a second. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go ahead and move this up to 36 XP. Feels pretty good. Moving to Picard, let's discard 3. 1, 2, and 3. It's purple. Beautiful. Well, what the hey, you guys. Kirk loves to just play with fire. He's going to go ahead and assault this starbase, but he's also going to say, hey, bring it on, you Dominion starship. Come join the fight. So we're going to attack both of these. That will push down our reputation by 1, and I believe we can do that because he is adjacent to us. Even though he's not adjacent to the starbase, it says that as long as the unit or the enemy is adjacent to you, you can include him in your combat. You guys let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. We have our 2 units here. First thing we're going to do is move into long range. This enemy is not resistant to any type of damage, so we're going to use Dinatra for long range of 2. We're then going to use our engage card, use one of our red data crystals that we have for a long range attack of 5. Boom, done. We just took him out. That will gain us 5 XP, and we have to remember we'll get 1 random token, data token, based on what we roll. In order for us to defend this unit, we would need double the amount of regular shields, so that would be 10 shields. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'm just going to soak the hit from him. So he has a total attack of 5, so that means we're going to take 1 point of damage and put it into our hand. We're then going to decrease his total attack by our armor, so that's 3. He still has points left of 2, so we're going to take another point of damage. So we just took 2 points of damage. After, when he had 2, we had 3 armor left. Then we go to -1. We're good with his attack. Remember that this only affects your shields. When he's attacking you, he still only attacks you for the 5. Now what we need to do is either 6 points of physical or regular phaser attacks, or we can use some other non-type of attack that is not physical attack. And that's where Marak comes into play. We're going to exhaust him. We're going to use a blue die here, and we have what it's called a photon pulse attack of 4. So that's a photon pulse. That's not the regular phaser attack of 4. That's greater than their 3. That's all we need. We just defeated him. As you saw, in order for us to do that ability on Marak, we had to pay a blue crystal. I used it from the data core. I'm going to roll this die to see what random data crystal we get. Oh, it's white, so we get to choose. Oh man, I think I'm going to go red. I just feel like red gives me the most attack usually. So I'm going to put red into my supply here of an insane amount of crystals. And then we'll re-roll this data die. Okay, it's red. That will go back into the data core. Our reputation may not be great, but man, we are getting XP. 1, 2, 3, 4 for this one, and 5 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're already at 45 XP. We also get to grab one of the 3 undiscovered cards here. I'm actually not super excited about any of them. There was one, that warp one, that I was really excited for, but I forgot we had to discard it last round. Super bummed, because that's what I was totally thinking I could get. I think I'm going to go for Penetrate Shields. I'll put that on top of our deck, and we'll replace that with the Advanced Shields. We also will place one of our tokens here and move our ship to it, and that should end our turn. Our hand size is still 6, but we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total cards in hand. So I'm not going to draw anything. We'll just end our turn. Picard will just continue to push along. 1, 2, and 3. It's blue, so we have one more. Okay, we're good to go. Well, it seems to me the best idea for us this round is to explore. So we're going to go ahead and use our skill here to get +4 movement. We are going to move 2 to here, and then we'll go ahead and explore over here. We'll gain 1 XP for this. That's using all 4 of our XP. This is going to be set up this way. Oh yes, another Romulan star base over here. We'll grab our tokens. So we've got 1 star base here and a Romulan star base here. We also will gain 1 XP. We are now 1 away from leveling up. Then looking at our hand, I think the first thing we're going to do is play the Repair Hull card. We're going to use one of our gold data crystals here to just repair 2 of our damage. We'll get that damage right out of our hand. And then the other thing we're going to do is use full speed ahead, spend our final crystal. Gosh, we're just using our crystals, but I really feel like I need to keep moving. I need to find these Borg cubes. That's going to give us another 4 movement. With that 4 movement, we'll spend 2 to explore here, and we have our first core tile. So now, at the end of this round, when we're revealing units, we'll start revealing some of the advanced units. And okay, this one does not have a Borg cube. Instead, it has a Borg sphere. It should go like this, I believe. Perfect. We have that Romulan starbase I'll put here, and then a Borg cube is very similar to the Draconum in Mage Knight. They'll come face up. They also are rampaging, and if you do defeat them, you gain +2 to your reputation. Super, super tempting for me, considering my reputation is kind of in the dumps. This guy has 9 defense, though. He attacks for 5, but he has the dissipators, so if we try to defend that, we actually have to defend for 10. He also has, I think that's called biotech. Oh, I'm close. Biogenetic weapons. And that's essentially the same as poison. So every damage that you take in your hand, you'll also take 1 into your discard pile. Brutal, but he's worth 7 XP. So we used 2 of our 4 movement to explore. The question is, we can move here if I spent another card, because that's 3 movement, or we could move here. I'm thinking for this round, I might just move here for that additional 2 movement, because I'll reveal both of these tokens. That's a 7 for defense, 3 for an attack, and this guy looks fun for the Dominion starship, or starbase. Okay, so now I get to decide what I want to do. I actually think for this round, what I'm going to do is I am going to assault this Romulan starbase. That's, though, going to push our reputation to a -2. Yeah, I know, that's not great. But I don't know what else I want to do. Oh, and you know what, you guys? I explored. I should move up my XP to 47 as well. This guy's going to be kind of a pushover. We're going to go ahead and let him just attack us. We'll take 1 damage, but remember, our armor is 3, so we'll take that 1 damage. That's it. 1 damage into our hand. Then, during our attack phase, we're going to use our Swift Action card. We're going to power that up with the red mana, or the red data die. That's for 4 attack, and then we can use this to increase our attack during the attack phase of any card by 3. So that's any type. It can be even long-range attack. It just can't be during the long-range attack phase. So I'm now doing a total of 7 attack. Boom. 3 XP. Done. We'll then roll up that data die. Oh, it's white. We'll move ourselves on to the Romulan starbase. We will notate that we control it. And now, because we control 2 Romulan starbases, our hand size is 2 higher than it normally is. So right now it's at 6. So 6 plus 2, we're going to get to have 8 cards in hand. Not to mention, with 3 XP, we're going to move ourselves to 50, and we're also going to level up. We're now going to be at level 7. Unfortunately, it's still 6 cards in hand, but our defense now is 4, and we can control another unit. We have 3 cards in hand. We'll go up to 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Picard will continue to push us. 1, 2, 3. It's red. Bummer. That's 2 more cards. He only has 2 cards left in his deck. That means we have about 3 turns. Looking at our hand, we only have 1 move card. I'm telling you, I am having a hard time with moves. So I think I'm going to do just the superior navigation. I think I'm just going to do the move 2. The move cost of Suns is reduced to 1 this turn, which is cool, but we're just going to take the move 2 so we can do an explore. Now, something that I haven't been talking about, and I really probably should have, you're going to see that with these core tiles, I'm always making sure wherever I'm exploring, they're connected to 2 already revealed tiles. When you do the frontier tiles, you just need to make sure that either when you reveal that frontier tile, that's one of the blue ones, it's either connected, or when you're placing it where it's connected to 2 tiles, or the tile that you're connecting it to is connected to 2 tiles. So you can go a little bit more in a straight line with the frontier ones, but with these core ones, you have to ensure that it's connected to 2 tiles. I think that way, if you're playing competitively, you're not making it where it's impossible for other players to get to those specific tiles. So let's see, I think this is how it's going to be set up. Look at this. Just like in my Mage Knight playthrough, the bottom 2 are my Borg ones. We've got another Borg sphere, we've got another Dominion starship, and this one, this is a deep research facility. If we enter movement there, we can choose any of the 3 crystals to gain that turn. We'll grab our 2 tokens. The sphere comes face up, and the Dominion starship also comes face up. Okay, so that means I'm probably going to be finding the first Borg cube over there. Don't forget, I will gain my 1 precious XP for doing that exploration. I've got a couple moves cards in my hand, but I think I'm going to do something that I'm not sure is worth it, but I'm doing it anyways. I want to recruit a unit. I have the space to do it, so let's do it. I'm going to use this wild as a red. Now this is diplomacy 3 because I'm doing an interaction right now. And don't forget, my reputation is at a -2. So right now I'm at a 1. I'm trying to get to a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, my entire hand. The only thing I have left in my hand is that that damage card. But I don't know. Is it worth it? I love having units. They give you more options. So I'm going to spend the 8. Even though people don't like me around here, Tomalak looks at our ship and goes, it looks pretty well. It looks like you guys have been doing pretty well. So yeah, let's go ahead and join our team. And the thing that I like, he gives us a move 4. So I'll totally take that. That does mean we've completed our action this turn. We'll roll the die up. We've got a gold. And I'm still on my Romulan starship, or starbase. So my hand size is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is good. See, I'm getting a lot of my cards in my hand. This is great. Picard will then grab his last 2 cards. Next turn, he'll claim end of round. For this round, let's go ahead and use Tomalak. We're going to exhaust him and use the move 4. We're then also going to include full speed ahead for a movement of 6 in total. We'll use 3 out of the 6 to move here. We'll use 2 more to go ahead and find our first Borg cube. Oh, we've got the yellow one. This is going to be placed, oh yay, just like this. Well, we're definitely going to have to take care of that Borg cube. This will be our Borg cube, and oh, wonderful. It's just, 7 defense that's physically resistant and photon torpedo resistant. Attacks with photon torpedoes for 9. Oh yeah, we also have a Romulan starbase over here, which actually is kind of nice. And then over here, that's something new. So hopefully you can see that this has a bit of a red tinge. What that means is you actually have to defeat 2 Class L planet tokens. You have to encounter both of them. If you do defeat them, though, you gain 1 undiscovered card and 3 random data crystals, which is kind of nice. Because we just explored another tile, we'll gain our 52nd XP. Here we have our Borg cube. We have a yellow Borg cube that we have found, so I'll grab it from right here. Just like in Mage Knight, it'll be a level 5. We can't really even see it on camera, but it's a level 5 Borg cube. The second one that we find will be a level 8. This is denoting that all enemies will have +1 to their defense in this city. What's totally awesome about these cards is they actually have what the different levels are on the backside, because it can be a challenge to read these. So I have determined that a level 5 is 2 Borg cubes and 1 Romulan starbase. So what I'm going to do is just set these aside on this card. Each of these, when I do encounter this Borg cube, will have +1 to their defense. Right now, until we get adjacent to that, they're going to stay face down. So I don't get to know what they are until I'm adjacent to it, and that Borg sphere is in the way. So I think because of that, I think for our action this turn, I was going to do an away mission, but I'm thinking instead, let's go ahead and try and take on this Borg sphere. Now this Borg sphere is attacking us with photon torpedoes. So any shields that I use against him are going to be halved unless they were photon torpedo shields. I don't have any of those. So what I'm going to do, I definitely don't have enough long range attack. I'm going to use my battle stations here. That's going to give me shields 2, but that's only going to decrease that number from 9 to 8. I'll take that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak the rest of that damage. So if he's attacking me for an 8, I will gain 1 damage card and reduce that down to a 4. And then I will take another damage card and reduce that down to a 0. That does mean I have 3 damage cards in my hand. Then what I'm going to do is play my advanced scan card, and it states ignore all enemy resistances this turn. I'm going to use a data die from the data core to power this up, and it also states that all enemies gain defense -1. So this now is a defense of 6. It has no resistances. That's pretty much exactly what I wanted to see, because then what I can do is use my other battle stations card that's in my hand. That only gives me an attack of 2, but then I can use this to add 3 to that. That's an attack of 5. I only need an attack of 6, so I think I'm going to play my diplomacy card. Oh no, you know what? Just in case, I'll keep my diplomacy card. So I have these 3 cards left, you guys, and it's the question of what am I going to be able to do for that last turn. I still could do that in a away mission, but I can also heal. Healing actually isn't helpful. Yeah. I think I'm going to put this one sideways for my 6th point of attack. So 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. His defense was reduced by 1. He has no resistances. He is toast. I will now gain 8 XP and 2 wonderful reputation. Let's also quick re-roll this die up. Okay, it's gold again. 8 XP will push us from 52 up to 60, only 3 more to level up. And now people don't think as terribly of Kirk. I mean, still not great, but we're getting there. We'll end our turn. Our hand size is 6 plus 2. We're still next to our star base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get both of these. Oh, I have more diplomacy. That is actually really awesome. We're going to have Picard claim end of round, and I definitely think this means we're going to do an away mission. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and use a blue data crystal here to go ahead and repair 2 out of the 3 damage that we have taken. We only have 1 damage left. Oh, and you know what? I'm silly. Instead of using that from a crystal, let's go ahead and use our skill here. So we're going to gain 1 red. Oh, and look at this, you guys. I'm full in red. So what that means is I can gain 1 red data token for this turn, but I don't get to keep it. I'm going to use the blue from this simply to do the medical officer, so I have repaired 2 points of damage. I still have 1 left, but I do have a red data that I can use this turn. We're then, for our action, going to send just a security team, so we're not sending the captain, we're not sending any of our units because they're all exhausted anyways, to go to this Class K planet. Let's see what we find. We only have a few of these planet tokens left. Okay, we need a total of 10 diplomacy. Ooh, can I get 10? Well, it looks like I can, but we're not going to like it. I'm going to go ahead and use my research here. I'm going to use the blue data from the core. That's going to allow me to play another card and get +2 from the bottom of the card. We are going to intimidate these guys. Oh, man, it's going to decrease our reputation. That's going to give us a 5, and this says if we get any amount of diplomacy, increase it by 2. So that's 7. We're then going to play our open healing frequencies and power that up with that additional red that we have. That's going to give us 11. Definitely is enough, but man, we're going to push our reputation back down because we are just full of intimidation, apparently. That will gain us 6 beautiful XP. That should mean we will level up. Awesome. We'll place one of our ship tokens here. And what's great is we're also going to be able to gain an undiscovered card as well. So we're getting an advanced action card for leveling up and an undiscovered card. We'll increase our experience by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I definitely think we're going to get the status field. Why didn't I look at this card before? Target enemy does not attack. This will be amazing, especially against the Borg cube. Now, normally I'd go on top of my deck, but we're at the end of our round anyways. Then I'm just going to push this one up and we'll reveal this one. We have a Genesis effect. Now let's go ahead and grab our skill first, and then we'll look at our advanced action cards. And then after that, we will refresh for the next round. We have the 3 Picard ones we could choose from. We also have our 2 that we're going to flip over now. This one up here is called Motivation. Once per round on any player's turn, and when you're playing solo, you can just do it right at the beginning of your turn. Flip this to draw 2 cards, and if you have the least experience, which you're considered to have the least and the most when you're playing solo, you gain experience +1. That's kind of cool. This one down here is called Soliloquy. Once per turn, Diplomacy 2 during an interaction or 3 on an away mission. Yeah, we're not very diplomatic. I have a hard time not picking Motivation. Getting that 2 extra card draw, especially when you're looking at a board cube. Yeah, it's beautiful to do that. So definitely going to grab that one. And we'll go ahead and reveal Picard's next one that we could potentially get the next time we level up. That one's called Target Lock. Once per turn, you have an attack 2 or long range attack 1. Of the 3 advanced action cards that we have here, I really like the Isolistic Burst, but it's going to push our reputation down. Our reputation, and I should push that down right now. Actually, you can see it here. I'm going to push it back down to -1 because, of course, we intimidated those guys. I always forget that. I think the card we're going to grab is this Ingenuity because we can gain a white data token, so we have to use it that turn. But remember, white is wild for any of the 3 basics. Or on the bottom, we can gain a white data token and a black one. The black one then would allow us to use those undiscovered cards, the better ability on the bottom. We haven't even been able to do that yet. So yeah, I kind of want to be able to do that. So then we'll push these down, and then let's go ahead and do end of rounds. So with that end of round, we're going to give Picard another blue data token. We're also going to give him this yellow card into his deck. I'm also okay with that. That's better than a red one. We'll flip these, replenish. We've got Tactics up there. We've got Honor over here. We will discard Agility in the units offer. We're going to replenish the units offer. Now this is where the units get fun. We're going to reveal one yellow one. We have Lore. Then one upgraded one. So we have a Federation officer. And then our third one will be one of the advanced units as well. And we have 1. Cool. So those are our 3 units. We're also going to have 2 advanced action cards for the 2 Class M planets that we have out on the table. Let's now move to round number 4. We'll do that, and we will roll our data dice. 2 black and a wild. Yeah, we're just gonna have to re-roll all of those. We've got 2 regular and 1 wild. I feel like I have a very straight universe. I just went straight out this way. A lot of times you'll see a little bit more spread, but that's fine. I'm expecting that I'm going to have my other board cube show up over here, especially if I want to take out that Romulan starbase and increase my hand even more before taking it on. So that's the goal. Let's go ahead. Well, I'll refresh my units. I've refreshed my skills already. We'll draw our 8 cards, and we'll get started for round 4. Let's go ahead and draw. We've got 1, 2, a damage, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 more, 7 and 8. Wow, yeah, okay. Now I get all the move. I've always wanted move at the beginning and I never get it. So looking at the 4 cards that we have available to us, I'm actually thinking this time I'm going to do Evaluation. When you take this tactic, discard up to 3 cards, including damage from your hand, then draw that many cards, shuffle your discard pile back into your ship deck. So I'm going to grab number 2. That means no matter which one he grabs, I get to go first. Finally! I haven't gone first yet. Let's see. He'll take number 3, which is fine by me. Then let's go ahead and look at our cards. I'm definitely going to discard this one. I like creativity. I don't think I need that much move. So I'm going to go ahead and discard one of the moves and a third move. We're going to discard those 3 cards. Let's draw 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll shuffle these 3 back into our deck. I have a quite good hand, I would say. But the hard part is that I have no idea what's at that board cube. So what I think I'm going to do, here it is, I'm just going to play this 1 card to start off with, full speed ahead, move 2, so I can get adjacent to that board cube and see what we're dealing with. We'll take that 1 step right here, and now we're adjacent to the board cube. Let's look at those tokens. We have our 3 tokens here, and remember, all of them are going to be +1 to their defense. So this one is an 8, a 5, and a 7. These 2, the normal phasers will work, actually all 3. All 3, the normal phasers will work. This one is resistant to the torpedoes, and this one's resistant to the pulse attacks. This one is not resistant to anything. The only symbol I think that is new for us is this one. That's the anti-matter weapon. Any undeflected damage from this enemy is doubled. So essentially it's a brutal attack. So if we don't attack or don't defend against him, or any amount we don't, we double it. So it would be 12 points of damage coming in. Whew. Okay, well, maybe I can take care of that. We'll have to do some calculating. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end my turn. I won't be able to draw any cards because I'm no longer next to my star base and I have 7 cards in hand. But when it's not my turn, I am going to use our motivation skill here to draw 2 cards and gain 1 XP. So we'll grab, what is that, Stratusfield and Kirk's card. So we have a total of 9 cards in hand. Let's see if maybe we can take them out, and let's gain that 1 XP. Also, Picard will get to activate. We'll move 1 up to 67 experience. Picard will then discard 3 cards, and he ends in a purple. Are you serious? That's amazing. He has no purple here, so we'll just move to the next our next turn. Well, you guys, I think we're ready to take on this Borg cube. So for our action, we're going to assault it. Now, unlike the cities, when you assault a city, your reputation goes down by 1. Nobody likes Borg cubes. You don't have to worry about that here, which is awesome. So instead, what we can do is just start our combat. Also, we don't have to move on to that space, which is super helpful. First thing we're going to do is use this skill. Now, I have a total of 3 red crystals already, so this is going to be a data token that we have to use this turn, and we have our data token, our blue one, that we'll also be using. So let's start off with the long-range attack phase, and then we'll move into the block phase. For our long-range attack, let's go ahead and use that red crystal that we just made for a long-range attack of 3, plus Danatra for a long-range attack of 2. His defense is +1. That's still okay. That's a total of 5. This guy's gone. So we've defeated 1 out of the 3 enemies. Now that's all the long range I have. We're going to have to move into the shield phase. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use our creativity card. We're going to use the wild here, and we're going to take 2 data dice from here, and we're going to change them to any colors that we want. I believe what we want is red and blue. Okay, and then we won't re-roll these, but we can use these for this turn. I'm going to go ahead and replace them with the data tokens so I don't forget, and I'll put these back into the data core. We'll use one of the blue data tokens here to have our status field. Target enemy does not attack during this combat. So this enemy will not attack. We don't have to worry about shielding his attack. Thank goodness. Now this Borg cube enemy is a pain in the butt. His attack is only 3, but get this, he has the dissipators, so all shields are halved. Well, already, because this is a pulse attack, all normal shields are halved, so think of them as being fourthed, which is terrible. And over here, he's got the energy dissipators, so if we don't block him, we discard all non-damage cards in our hand. So we have to block him. So I'm going to use this blue here, so we get a photon pulse shield of 4. Now that's halved to 2, so we have blocked 2 out of the 3 total damage here. Then what I'm going to do is use our power to shields and power that up with our red here to get shields of 5. That 5 will be divided by, reduced down by 4, so it's shields of 1, and that's going to block the 3rd point of damage from this. So we had to use 5 shields, essentially, to block 1 point of this damage. Well, technically, it would be 4 shields. But so a total of the 4 shields here, plus the 4 that's only halved once because of the dissipators, this total amount of shield blocks his attack. Woo! Okay, that was all of the blocking. Now we have 2 enemies we need to defeat. This enemy, we need a total of 8 damage to take him out, and we can use regular phasers. It's actually probably better. We will power up our Con card, and that's going to give us 5 attack plus 1 for every 2 enemies that are participating in this combat. We have 3 enemies, so this is a 6. 6 plus the attack of 2 here, that's 8. 8 is the exact amount that we need for this Borg cube. He's toast. 2 down, 1 to go. Kirk himself will deal the final blow. He is going to use his discard another card. So we're going to discard this advanced scan, which is a bit of a bummer, but we're going to discard that to gain ourselves attack 4. That's a regular attack 4. We will then add 3 from this skill. So that's 4 plus 3 is 7. We needed 6 plus 1, I guess. We needed 7. It was not a pulse attack, so that will also kill him. And we have a whopping 1 card left in hand. Woohoo! Just so you can see, these are all of the cards we needed to be able to defeat that Borg cube, and we used Danatra as well, so 1 unit. But that does mean we still have 2 units that are available to us as well. Since we defeated 3 enemies at the Borg cube, we get to place 3 of our shields here, and those will increase our reputation only when we're trying to recruit any units at this specific Borg cube. So right now, although we're at a -1, technically we're at a 0 + 1 + 2 while we are at the yellow Borg cube's destroyed site. I'm also going to reroll this die. It's at a red, so we now have 2 red and a blue in the core. That's definitely a fun way to start off a round 4. 1, 2, 3 XP here, 7 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wasn't sure if we were going to level up. We definitely are. 7 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 84 XP. Our level up will just be flipping our shield token, but I will still take that. This will mean now our hand size is 7, and now we have 2 open slots for units. Let's also move ourselves on to the Borg cube. Now, something that I want to note. Technically, I'm supposed to put that on our card, and when you're at a Borg site that's been destroyed, you actually can't do combat. So I was thinking I'd be able to attack this Romulan starbase. I'm not going to be able to. I do still think I get to reveal it, okay, but I can't attack it from there because I am in a space that doesn't allow me to attack. The destroyed Borg cube site, I can't. If I'm going to attack that enemy, I'd have to maybe move to here, but then if I end my turn there, that's terrible. Actually, I wouldn't end my turn there, actually. I could do that, because if I moved here and assaulted it and defeated it, I'd move on to there. Ooh, okay. I was thinking to myself, I wasn't going to be able to attack him, but I could. So I could do this, attack him, move to here, and then I could explore over here to find the other Borg cube. Oh, that's totally what I'm going to do. Now, whenever you're on a destroyed Borg cube, if you have 1 or more shields on it, your hand size is 1 higher. If you have the most shields on it, your hand size is 2 higher. So our hand size is 7. We get +2 because we're on that site, so we have 9. I get to draw 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you become so dang powerful. Look at this. And each of the sites also give you a special benefit. So if we look here, we could spend 2 diplomacy to draw an additional advanced unit and put it in the unit offer. We also, while we're at the yellow Borg cube, we can recruit any type of unit. Doesn't matter where they normally are. We are able to recruit any type. Picard also hasn't rushed me so far, so let's see if he rushes me here. 3, that's a blue. We can take 2 more cards, no problem. Whenever you take down a Borg or a city, the best thing to do is to get some pretty awesome units, and there's 2 there that are awesome. I don't think I can get both, but I for sure can get 1. But in order to see how much I can get, I'm going to use this more time. Draw 3 cards, then shuffle any 3 cards in your hand back into your ship deck. So I'll go ahead and draw 1. That's a move card. 2. Oh, that gives us the data, which is cool. And 3. Oh, okay. Oh, this would help us repair that 1 damage that we have. So now, well, I was going to discard this or shuffle it back in, but let me think quick. I think since I'm going for an influence here, I'm going to take these 3 and just shuffle them back into my deck. This has been played. Now, what I need is a total of at least 12, and I'm hoping to get a level 4 unit from there too. So that's a total of 16 diplomacy. I'm at a +2 right now, so I need a total of 14 diplomacy. Let's go ahead and start off with some research, and we're going to boost this up to being a 7. So I have a total of 7 diplomacy plus the 2, so that's 9. Then I'll go ahead and play this one for another 4 diplomacy. I'm going to use one of my red data crystals for that. I only have 1 left. This might be a little bit of a stretch, but I really like getting those good units. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 2 is 12, 13. I need 3 more diplomacy. Let's just do it. I know I could repair with that. 2 and 3. Wow, that stinks. But 16 diplomacy will allow us to gain 2 of these, so I could get lore and the Federation officer. For sure I have to get the Federation officer because he's our 4. But it's either lore or it's 1. This one we can gain 2 data tokens. We can gain a pulse torpedo attack of 6. This one we can choose 1 card from your discard pile and place on top of your ship deck. Or just draw 2 cards. Holy moly. Both of them look awesome. I don't know which one to do. I honestly think card draw isn't going to be as much of a problem as the data tokens, so I think I'm going to go with 1. So we'll go ahead and gain 1 and the Federation Officer. That means I have a total of 5 units. I always feel super powerful when you have tons of units. Okay, we're going to end our turn. We've got a black in the data core. We have 2 cards in hand. Our hand size is 9, so I can draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, yeah, we're flying through our ship deck. But that's actually okay. We're only in round 4, and we've already taken out one of the ships, one of the Borgs, so I'm okay with that. So I think we probably only have a couple more turns left. What I'm looking for is some move. I need a total movement of 3. I've got red in the source. I guess actually what I could do is use this for a movement of 4. Let's do that. We're going to use our skill for movement of 4. We're going to move on top of this planet. We have one additional move we're not going to use, but we are going to assault this Romulan starbase. I'm going to decrease my reputation by 2 because I never seem to remember that when I intimidate people, I need to decrease it. That actually is pretty gosh darn terrible. We're at -3 at this point. This enemy only attacks us for 2, but I'm thinking of using that medical officer to repair the 1 damage that's in my hand, but she can repair for 2. So I might as well just let him hit me. Let me take the damage. Beautiful. I've got a 2nd point of damage in my hand that now I can repair. I'm okay with that. Now we need to do a total of 10 damage to him from a physical standpoint. Since I only have regular phasers, I don't have any of the cool ones. We'll go ahead and use Tomalak for 3 attack. Then we'll use our Federation Officer for 5 attack. Then we'll go ahead and use our Engage here and use one of the red dice for 8 attack using this +3, 9, 10, 11. We just took them out, no problem. Let's then go ahead and re-roll this die. Oh, it's white. Wonderful. This will give us 4 XP, and we're at 88. We'll then place one of our tokens here and move ourselves onto here. And now our hand size, because we control 1, 2, 3 of those, is +3. So unlike Mage Knight, where if you're next to the city, you always have to use the city as your hand size limit, you can take the better of the 2. You don't get to add them together, so I don't get a hand size of +5. My hand size right now will be +3 because I control 3 Romulan star bases. But that's not really going to matter. I only have 1 card in my deck. I'll go ahead and draw my Open Negotiations card. Picard will be next. Let's go ahead and draw 3 cards. It's gold, so he'll push by 1 more. Looking here, we've got 3 more turns. Our first turn is a no-brainer. We're going to use our medical officer. This is our second to last unit. We still have 1 that's ready. We're going to repair that 2 points of damage that's in our hand. That's gone. Then I think I'm just going to explore, and I think I'm just going to do a move 2, because do I want to power it up? I really don't want to use, I want to keep my crystals, so I think I'm just going to do a move 2. So I don't forget, we'll move up to 89 XP, and let's go ahead and explore. So this is going to be adjacent to 2 tiles, so that's fine. We've got a red Borg cube, and I've moved these around so much. Here we go. This is how it's going to be set up, just like so. We have another Borg sphere right here. We have, another Borg sphere right there. That's a Borg sphere. So we've got 2 Borg spheres on either side. We've got a dry dock. Of course, I just healed all of that damage. We could have repaired damage there, no problem. So let's go ahead and check out the red Borg cube. The red Borg cube gives all enemies that have normal phaser attacks the anti-matter weapons. What that means is any damage that's not blocked with shields is doubled. And that even includes if we have any away mission tokens, and I think we will because we're going to be at a level 8 here. So a level 8 will be 2 Borg cubes, 1 Dominion starbase, and 1 class K planet. Yep, so we're going to have 1 class planet that we're going to have to deal with. So we'll grab our 2 cube tokens, our 1 planet token, and our 1 Dominion starbase token. And if any of these have normal phasers for attacks, we're going to have double damage if we don't block them. Wonderful. I'm really not in a rush, so I think I'm just going to end my turn. I'm going to re-roll this data die. It is gold, if you can see that. And now we'll have Picard go. He only had his 2 cards left in his deck, so he'll just discard those 2. He'll claim end of round next turn. I have no cards in my ship deck, so we're just going to see what we want to do. I do have some diplomacy in my hand, and I've got that distressed planet next to us, But I don't really think, yeah, I don't think I want to try and go for that right now. Instead, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of prep for the next round. I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 data tokens of any color. I'm going to grab a blue one for sure, and I have to decide on the other color. Well, this is now having me think about this. I could do a black, because then I could activate after placing your away team on a class L or class K, draw 1 extra one. No, but I'm gonna have to encounter 2 of them, and this is only diplomacy 7. No, Colin, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab those 2 so that I can play this, use the blue, so I can gain myself a red or a blue or a gold, and I'm gonna go ahead, since I only have 1 red and 1 blue, I'm gonna grab 1 gold, so I have 1 of each. I'm then going to play this card to just simply gain 1 red data crystal to our inventory. And then I'll go ahead and play my superior navigation and just simply move 2. I'll move myself over here to the dry dock, and the nice thing about the dry dock, although I don't have any damage to repair, I do start every turn that I'm on that dry dock with 1 white mana crystal. That's amazing. And not crystal, a token. So I can use that as a wild, which is great. So it just gives me a little bit more flexibility. Also, I can look at those tokens that are at the red board cube. Let's see what these 4 lovely enemies are going to be like. Okay, so he will not have the antimatter. This one would. That's the planet one. And how the planet one works is we have to deal with all the ship ones first, then we would encounter him after that. This one would have the antimatter. Holy moly, it's resistant to everything. That's essentially a 14, you guys. And this one we saw actually before, where it has the dissipators and the what is that, the antimatter or the energy dissipators. So that defense is going to be insane that we have to do. Okay, this is, yeah, it's going to be fun. At this point, I think I'm just going to end the round. So we're going to give another gold data token to Picard. Move these down. We'll place this blue card, the logic, into his deck. Move these down. We'll replace the 2 of these advanced action cards in the advanced or in the unit offer with these 2. We will put lore at the bottom of the advanced unit deck. We'll draw 1 of them. We've got Hugh. We've got 1 from the regular. We've got Sulu. And then we have another advanced one. We've got Axum. So those are our 3 units. Let's go ahead and then move to round 5. We have round 5 and round 6, but I'm planning on hopefully finishing this in round 5. We'll re-roll these. Oh, we've got a black in here. That's going to be interesting if I can actually use that. All right, you guys, I cheated a little bit, and I apologize. The problem when you put all these cards out, I accidentally picked up Mirak and put him in my discard pile, and then I went, oh, wow, I have 2 places to have units. No, I don't. I only had 1 place. I actually have 6 units here. So I'm going to disband the Federation officer. I hope you guys are okay with that. Sorry about the cheat. Didn't mean to. It would have meant that I wouldn't have needed to generate so much diplomacy when I got 1. But then I wouldn't have had his, I think it was like an attack 2 that I used. But I think I had more than enough attack in my hand. Anyways, we're just going to go with it. I definitely want Mirak because I really like this Pulse Shields 4. I'm definitely going to need that against this guy. So apologies for that. Hopefully you will forgive me. Our hand size is currently 7. We are 1 space away from our Romulan starbase, and we have 3 of those under control. So 7 plus 3 is 10. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a mitt of cards. And we have no damage in our deck. We've cleared it all out. That feels pretty good. We have our 4 options for tactics. What my plan is our first round, we might do just a tiny bit of preparation. Make sure that we have more than 2 cards. We'll get our hand size larger. We can use our motivation for drawing 2 more cards. So I think planning is the best option here. We will shuffle these up, and he will take number 1. So that means Picard will go first. I'm okay with that. Let's see. He will discard 3. It's gold, so he'll discard 2 more. We have 2 of each, so unless he flips his purple card, he's basically going to be discarding 5 cards a turn. Looking at the cards that we have, I don't really need the move cards. I like the range. I was hoping I maybe would have something that could generate some more data. Not really. So what I think I'm going to do is nothing this turn. I'm going to simply discard full speed ahead. So when you do nothing, you have to at least discard a card. I then definitely have more than 2 non-damage cards in my hand, so my hand size is increased by 1. So my hand size is 8 right now, plus the 3, that's 11. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 11, and then I'll go ahead and use this for 2 more, so that's 13. So we're going to have 13 cards. We have 9 here, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, I will definitely take that. We also, of course, gained 1 XP as well, so we're at 90. Let's go ahead and discard the top 3 cards here, and of course it's gold, so 2 more, that's 5. And now, let's see what we can do. Looking at my hand, I am not happy with the amount of cards that are pretty much useless. So what I think I'm going to do is start off with our repair hall, and I'm going to use a gold crystal for this. Man, this is taking a stretch, but I'm going to use that to draw 2 cards. And I've got more time and ingenuity. Okay, so then I'll go ahead and play more time so I can draw 3 cards. 1, oh, there's Con, 2, and 3. Look at this. I only have, 4 cards left in my deck. And now I can go ahead and look at these cards and put 3 back into my deck, which would be definitely these 2 moves. I think did I have another move? Just looking in here. No, actually, I think, yeah, all the other ones are pretty good. So I think I'm going to get rid of the open healing frequencies as my 3rd one. So these 3 cards are going to get shuffled back in. Also, don't forget, because I'm at that dry dock, I have 1 white mana token for this turn. Are you guys ready to assault this cube? Let's do it. So the first thing we're going to do when assaulting the cube, we can move into that long range attack phase. We have this enemy here that has a total of 6 defense. We are going to use regular attack. What we're going to do is use our skill here to generate 1 red mana crystal, which we'll use right away, and then 1 blue data crystal. I keep calling mana. We'll keep this data crystal for later. I'll flip this over. We will use this red plus 1 red from our inventory for a long range attack of 6. That's 1 enemy down, 3 to go. I don't really enjoy this enemy at all, trying to defend against him with all of this, so I'm just going to use my stasis field here. The target enemy does not attack during this combat. You don't have to worry about him. We're going to use Tomalak and we're going to use Dinatra for a total shield of 6 to block the 6 attack from this Borg cube, and we have now defended or defeated all of the ships. So we're going to complete the ship combat before we deal with the one that's the planet token. Let's go ahead and use 1 here, and we're going to gain 2 data tokens, 1 that's black and 1 that is red. The one that's black we'll then use with 1 gold from the core, and we have a superior scan. Play this only during the attack phase of combat, destroy the target enemy, and all other enemies will get -1 defense. We're just going to destroy this guy. I don't want to deal with him. We'll then take out this final unit using our Con card and powering it with that data token that we have. That's an attack 5, but there's 4 units. Since there were 4 units in this combat, we're going to add +2 to this attack. That's 7. That 7 will take him out. Awesome. Now let's do some diplomacy. We need a total of 9 diplomacy for this enemy token. Well, let's go ahead and generate 5 here. That's a wild. And then we'll do 5 here. So that's a total of 10. We're going to push our reputation down to a -5. But with that total 10, we're going to intimidate them to sign our treaty. And we just took out our 4th enemy unit. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. That's kind of insane. And 2 ready units. We'll go ahead and re-roll our mana die, and it's blue. We gained a total of 5 XP with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We gained a total of 7 XP for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We gained a total of 8 XP here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we gained a total of 5 XP from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy moly, this is definitely the best I've done. We are going to level up. I'm just going to grab, it doesn't really matter. I don't like honor. I'm going to go ahead and grab this move card and put that on top of my deck and replenish that with the chance of strategy. We can also gain a skill, and it only matters because we literally have one more turn. I could try and eke out a little bit more XP, which I might actually try and do, depending upon what I draw. What I have here, yeah, doesn't really matter. This one's going to give me additional movement. I'll go ahead and grab that. Our hand size is 7, but we get to add +2 to that because we control that Borg cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's our 9. It's just a question of if we want to try and take out one of those Borg spheres for the final round. When you do complete and defeat that second Borg cube, the bot doesn't get an additional turn. You just get one more. So let me just see if I want to try and take one of these guys out. Well, what the heck? Life wouldn't be fun if we didn't add one more fun element at the end of this, right? We've taken out 2 Borg cubes. What's a Borg sphere? So we're going to use our swift action. Gain 1 red crystal to your inventory. I'm going to go ahead and use that to use our special maneuvers to move ourselves 4. We'll move ourselves 3 right here, but since we moved here, this enemy is going to try and attack us. He's going to attack us with a 6 photon pulse attack. We'll go ahead and use Marak for a pulse shield of 4, so we only have 2 more coming in. I do have to spend a blue crystal, my final crystal for my inventory, to do this. Then what we'll do is we'll use our ingenuity and gain a white data token, which we'll immediately use as a red one because it's wild for shields 5. That will take care of the other 2 additional attack from this Borg sphere. We needed to do that because if we didn't, we'd have to discard all non-damage cards in our hand. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get a little creative. We're going to use a blue die here to be able to grab both dice. And actually, I'm just going to grab a blue and a black data token. So I can grab one of each of those so that I can use the undiscovered card in my hand. With our blue and black, we'll have disrupt shields. So the target enemy gains -5 defense. So that means he's only a 2 defense, physically resistant. We will do 2 attack here, so that's essentially doing 1, but we can add 4 attack with this and make this +3 to defeat him. I think I did that right. My brain is a little bit mush, but I believe we gained 8 more XP for that. Insult to injury, my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it doesn't really matter what this is. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 123 experience. Now I'm going to go ahead and calculate what we have in total because we finished a whole round early too. So I think this is going to be a pretty fantastic score. Based on how I calculated it, I have 208 points, but what I did is I just went off of this co-op and solo scenarios. I'm not sure if I should be doing, I know like in Mage Knight, you would get points for however many items that you have controlled. I didn't count that or my advanced action cards, so maybe I'm wrong. But regardless, 208 feels awesome. That was way better than my Mage Knight play, I think, of 169. So definitely enjoyed it. I definitely feel like I'm way more powerful in this game than I am in Mage Knight. And I think it just has to do with it's easier to move around the board. Long range attack works even with assaulting the different buildings. But in the same respect, the away missions are super cool. Those Class H planets, let me know if you guys ever do those. I just don't ever see myself taking that chance of trying one of those and not being able to do it. I mean, maybe if I had that 11 or 13 card hand, I could do it. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Let me guys know if you'd like to see, I'm thinking that it would be fun to do a con one as well. So let me know if you'd like to see that. And also make sure to check out Mike's review. If you're still here, I'm impressed. You can check out Mike's review as well. Oh, and there's one other thing that I did, both with this game and with Mage Knight, but I forgot to show you guys with Mage Knight. I kept track of all the enemies that I defeated during the game, and it's really fun to just look at that. You can just feel uber powerful. I love it. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you at the next stop.